How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon BDSP Wi-Fi Battle. Yes, I said BDSP. We're revisiting the classic. The Pokemon game that basically built this channel from 0 to 2,500 subscribers in a year is here. So we're going against my buddy Cypher. Go check his channel out. There'll be a link in the description down below. And go ahead and join the Discord server. It is the best place to go for Pokemon Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. So looking at their team, they've got Rampardos, Suicune, Flygon, Smeargle, Alakazam, which is really cool to see, and a Gramble. So pretty cool stuff. We've obviously got, you know, some standouts, Manectric and Aggron, which stand out. We've got our own Alakazam. So I'm looking at this matchup and I'm thinking, you know what does really well here? Manectric, if we can get rid of that Flygon. So I'm going to lead off with Donphan to try and... No, they probably lead off with Smeargle, right? So we should lead off with Infernape. Infernape's not doing too much this game, but I think they do lead off with Smeargle. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with that and just slap it in the face with a close combat. And the battle begins. So Hunter's going to lead off with the Smeargle as I expected. It's nice and shiny, gotta love it. Now I do have some mods on. I've got a 60 FPS mod, which doesn't seem to work, which is fine. It works in standard play, it just doesn't work in online for whatever reason. And we've also got the Sky Battles mod from Yisuno. So it's basically all the Pokemon are true scale. So big Pokemon like Wailord are very big, but the camera has been fixed so it actually looks good. So anyway, Smeargle leads off. We're going to go for a close combat right now. If they want to spawn me and put me to sleep, that's fine. As long as I break that sash, we are absolutely golden. So down goes the Smeargle. Focus sash is broken. I like the nickname Picasso as well. That's really cool. And they're probably going to go for a Spore here. But we are life up, so we lose some health. They do go for a Spore. Smeargle's going to wave its mushroom at me and put me to sleep. So we're playing BDSPOU. And sleep hasn't been banned in this metagame. Moody is though, but it doesn't matter. We're only having fun here. We're having fun with BDSP. It doesn't matter. So they're probably going to go for one of their hazards right now, in which case I'm going to switch out and I'm going to go into my Alakazam. And the reason I'm going to Alakazam is because A, Alakazam hits everything on our team pretty hard with Psychic, but also we're not bothered about Stealth Rocks and stuff like that. So they do go ahead and withdraw their Smeargle. What are they going to go into to take on the... they're going to go into Johnson, the Alakazam of their own. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. How I've missed Alakazam. It's such a cool Pokemon, you know? So we don't have much to hit this thing. We've got Nasty Plot to boost our attacks. But I think my best bet... I think my best bet is to stay in and go for a Dazzling Gleam. I can't see Alakazam being too useful this game, so I'm just going to stay in and go for a Dazzling Gleam. There we go. Does nearly half as they go for a Nasty Plot of their own. Which is terrifying. Very terrifying. But we can still win this. The fact that they didn't attack us means our Focus Sash is intact, so we can just go for another Dazzling Gleam here. And as long as we win the speed tie, we're good to go. So we go for a Dazzling Gleam again. We do win the speed tie once more, as they go for an Energy Ball, showing they don't have Shadow Ball either. And they get a critical hit, but I'm sure that didn't matter, as we do hang on with the Focus Sash, which is always nice. So this next turn, if we look at their team, which I can't... I forgot you can't do that, and I didn't take a picture of his team either. I know they don't have any dark types anyway, so I'm going to go for a Psychic right now, just in case they switch out into something to take a Dazzling Gleam. They do withdraw. They don't want to risk losing that speed tie. They're going to save their Alakazam for later, and they're going to go into Picasso, the Smeargle, to sack it off right now. It's nice and shiny, but also nice and dead as the Smeargle goes down. Obviously, it's not dead. It's KO'd. But, you know, I feel like everyone says their Pokemon died in battle, even though it doesn't die. It's just fainted. But everyone says died, right? In comes whatever that is, the Rampardos. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. So this thing is obviously a threat. They could be Scarfed. I'm assuming they are, and that's why they brought it in, because we could definitely have something for this. So I'm going to switch out. I'm going to preserve my Alakazam just in case they're Scarfed. And I'm going to go into my Donphan. I think Donphan can handle this thing pretty well. So there we go. Donphan is in. They do go for an Earthquake, telling me they are probably Scarfed. But we are a Donphan, so we eat that up every single day of the week, no problem. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm assuming they're going to go into something like the Suicune. So I'm going to get my Stealth Rocks up. I think that's probably going to be important. And we'll just see what they're going to do. They do withdraw their Rampardos. What are they going to go into? Matatabi, which is going to be the Suicune. There we go. So Suicune is in. Pressure is exerted. We get them Stealth Rocks up, which is going to be really useful for later on down the line, especially if that Alakazam isn't Magic Guard. But chances are they are Magic Guard because that's just like pretty much the only set people run on it, right? So, knowing this Suicune's probably going to go for a Calm Mind here, I'm going to go into Manectric and we're going to try and switcheroo it. I think switcherooing the Suicune's going to be really good. So we'll get our Donphan out of there. They may also go for a Scald here. They may go for a Scald. But if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Let's see what they do. So they go for a Calm Mind. So, if they're going to Calm Mind up on us, they're probably expecting us to go all out on the attack right now and go for a Thunderbolt or something like that. So I'm starting to think maybe giving this thing a Choice Specs would be good, but I'm also thinking against that and I want to go for a Thunderbolt. I think they stay in and see if Suicune can take it. And then if I switcheroo and they go for a Scald, they're going to be Choice Specs plus a Calm Mind. So that'll definitely take my Manectric out. And I don't want that. So I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt right off the bat. And they do stay in as expected. Choice Specs takes it down to half. And they go for a Scald. So it's a good job we didn't switcheroo there. Otherwise, my Manectric would be gone. They do get the burn, however. They do get the burn. Now, we can probably expect them to switch out here into a Flygon. Which would give them a free Dragon Dance if they did do that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to switch out. Do I have anything for... If the Flygon does go for a Dragon Dance, we have got the we've got the Donphan and we've got the Togekiss. So it's not too bad. So I think if I just go straight for the safe play and go for a Thunderbolt, they do stay in and down goes the Suicune to the Manectric, which is absolutely fantastic. Manectric going down is great. Just great. The burn has put us on a time limit. I think we've got one more hitting us from the burn. But now they get a free switch into their Flygon, which is unfortunate. As Goggle McKee comes in, the Flygon gets hurt by the Stealth Rocks, breaking a potential Sash, which they probably don't have. And now if we assume they're going to go for a... Because there's no Terastallization, so we don't have to worry about them Terra Watering or something like that. So if we assume that they are going to Dragon Dance here, we should go into Donphan straight up. I think that's the way to go. They may be a different set. They might be Choice Specs with Draco Meteor right now. But I have to assume they're going to go for a Dragon Dance setup. There's the Dragon Dance setup. So the Dragon Dance comes through. That's going to boost their attack and speed to sky-high levels, making this Flygon a complete and utter menace. But Donphan is here to save the day, as I'm pretty sure Ice Shard 2-hit KOs Flygon. I'm pretty sure. So let's go for an Ice Shard real quick and find out. Ice Shard comes through. And it is a clean 2-hit KO on the Flygon, which is fantastic. They go for another Dragon Dance. They got greedy. Cypher, what are you doing? You're getting greedy with the Flygon. As now, I can easily take you out with an Ice Shard next. I'm guessing they forgot that it got Ice Shard. To be fair, we're both playing BDSP after a long time. And Donphan is in Scarlet and Violet, but it's not used very often. It's in UU. And I know Cypher usually plays OU, so he's probably not... forgot that he got Ice Shard or something like that. But we'll go for another one. They do withdraw the Flygon, saving it for later. And they're going to go into Ben now, who is the Gramble, which probably has Intimidate. But the Stealth Rocks are going to dig in, which is great. They do have the Intimidate, which means this Ice Shard is going to bounce right off them. As there we go. No damage whatsoever. The Leftovers is going to recover more damage than our Ice Shard did. But we need to keep Donphan around for that Flygon, that is for sure. So... what do we do here? I'm leaning... since the Smeagol's gone, we could sack off our Infernape. Definitely could. Or we could go straight into our Aggron, but it's likely they have Earthquake or Close Combat. So what do we do here? I'm leaning towards Togekiss, personally, so we can Thunderwave it. I think I will go with the Togekiss switch. I don't think Togekiss is doing too much else for us this game, other than maybe walling this Gramble. So... and it's good to see Togekiss again after all these years. So Bulk Up's going to come through. This Gramble just turned into a threat. A big threat at that. They can have Ice Fang. They can have Thunder Fang. They can have Iron Tail. I doubt he'll have Iron Tail though. But let's go for a Thunder Wave anyway, just to cripple this thing. And that way Aggron can come in and Iron Head it in the face with a Choice Band. And it should still do a lot of damage. Thunder Wave comes through like so. Boom. There we go. Paralyzed Gramble is paralyzed. That's what we like. So they go for a Play Rough, which is going to sting. But we have got the Leftovers, which helps us greatly in this situation. So that's always nice. And what we can do now is, if we assume they're going to go for a Play Rough again, because it nearly KO'd us, we can just go straight into Aggron. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think Aggron needs to come out here. I don't think they'll go for an Earthquake predicting the Aggron. I think they go straight for a Play Rough. They might even be expecting us to go for Air Slash shenanigans. They go for a play rough, which is going to bounce right off us, even at +1. Hopefully it doesn't lower our attack. It doesn't, which is fantastic. Which means this next turn, we can just go straight for an Iron Head. Now, if you're wondering why I have Ice Beam, it's just to hit Gliscors. So Iron Head Choice Banded still KOs the Granbull even after a Bulk Up as we get a critical hit. And down goes the Granbull, which is fantastic. Aggron putting in the work right now. In comes Johnson, which is the Alakazam. So they have Energy Ball. Are they going to have Focus Blast as well? Maybe. That's the thing. So I think, I feel like Manectric could still be useful here. But no, we don't have any more uses for Manectric. Let's just switch it out real quick. They may go for a Nasty Plot expecting us to switch here. If they do, it'll put me in a lot better position than they were in. But it's fine. We can handle it. As they do go for an Energy Ball to KO us, telling me you do not have the Focus Blast. So what we can do here is we could bring Aggron back in. We could bring Aggron back in, or we can just go into Donphan and go for an Ice Shard, or we can risk the Speed Tie with the Alakazam again. I'm leaning towards that because Alakazam does really well against their entire team now. So we'll bring Alakazam in, like so. We'll go for a Psychic to take this thing out because it will KO the Alakazam, and all we need to do is win the Speed Tie. They go for an Energy Ball, they win the Speed Tie, so Alakazam does go down, but it's fine. We can handle it. We can handle this, no problem. All we need to do now is go... I guess we're just going to Donphan. I'm just going to Donphan and Ice Shard here. So we'll go into Great Tusk, the Donphan. Shout out to Scarlet and Violet. And then we just go for an Ice Shard here. Just to take out this Alakazam. There's no real reason not to. Ice Shard comes through. Takes out the Alakazam and no problemo. As down it goes. So we've got Flygon left. And we've got one more Pokemon, which I can't remember what it is because I didn't take a picture of the team because I'm an idiot. Exodrin comes in the Rampardos. That's right. Rampardos comes in. So... what are we expecting Rampardos to do here, really, realistically? If we assume it's going to go for a move that can attack Donphan like Ice Punch, we could sack something off. I'm looking at you, Infernape. So let's go into Infernape and sack off real quick. There we go. Because we don't know what this Rampardos is going to do here. So we may as well go into Infernape while it's asleep, burn off some sleep turns potentially. They go for an Iron Head, which is a very powerful move that they've got. But I'm fine. So I'm going to go for a close combat here. And they go for the Iron Head, proving they are Choice Scarf, by the way. We are fast asleep still, though, which means Infernape is going to go down here. As we go for another close combat, just in case. They go for an Iron Head, take out Infernape. So, Choice Scarf Rampardos is pretty cool, I will say. Pretty cool. But, now that the Rampardos is locked into Iron Head, we can just go into our Metallicana, the Aggron, real quick. There we go, and I'm leaning towards the Iron Head here. I think I am going to go with the Iron Head. So they're going to withdraw the Rampardos. And they're going to go into the Flygon, which is going to go down to an Iron Head here because we're Choice Banded. And they've got Stealth Rock Chip to look into as well. So Iron Head comes through. Down goes the Flygon, which is great. Just great for us. Absolutely fantastic for us, in fact. In comes the last Pokemon, the Rampardos. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. I don't know how many times I've seen this Rampardos already, but I'm saying it again. So, looking at my team, they cannot lock themselves into Earthquake because we have a Togekiss. And if they do, they're going to lose their Rampardos. So, I think they have to go for a Iron Head here. I'm going to go for an Iron Head anyway. If they lock themselves into Earthquake, they go for the Iron Head. It's going to do a lot of damage, but our Iron Head comes through and takes down the Rampardos. See, they couldn't have gone for Earthquake there because then they'd be locked into Earthquake and we just bring Togekiss in and win. The best bet they had to go for there was the Iron Head flinches on Aggron. That is all they could really do there. So GG Cypher, that was a pretty fun one. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.